Hey there guys, Clutch here and welcome back to the CRS British Touring Car Championship. This is round 9, the finale. We are back at Donington Park, however this time on the GP circuit. I would put my car on pole for the first time since round 4 in Donington Park, and Jaden, my championship rival, would put his BMW into second. Blank would put in a solid qualifying performance to get third, and Kittu, the same I could say for him, in fourth. Assetto Drifter would qualify as Karina well in P5, and MBG, the second of the Cavaliers, would be P6. Fapster would be P7, the first of the Mondeos, and Joseph McKenna in the second of the Any Karinas would be P8. Sculleris would be P9 in his Team Schnitzer BMW, and Riosuk would be P10. Rosti would qualify P11, however unable to make it to the grid. Ibi would be P12 in his Securicore Carina. Bowtie in his Mondeo would be P13, Method in his Renault 19 would be 14th, Alex Plunkett in the last of the BMWs 15th, and Dominos Kos Kellerman in his Mondeo in P16, bringing up the rear of the grid. So off the line as per usual, we were expecting those rear-wheel drive cars to get pretty good starts. However, with the start being on a slight downhill here at Donington, I wasn't too far behind Jaden coming into the first corner. Not too much carnage would occur, however, Kittu turning into MBG would offset him, send him into the side of Fapster, and then get sent back into the side of Kittu, and Kittu would drop quite a way down the grid because of that, but the majority of the field managed to get through cleanly for the opening few corners, which is really nice to see. Joseph McKenna and a few others would run a little bit wide coming out of the old hairpin and coming up into the right-hander. He would have to defend from Ibi in another Carina, but managing to hold him off well, putting his car in a good defensive position for the coming corner to hold him off nicely down for the back straight. Looking at the back end of the field, you could see Donington Park go down the inside of Bowtie. Bowtie maybe not giving him as much room as he would have hoped for, as Sculleris would be able to get the undercut coming out of the chicane to be alongside. However, coming back a little bit, we would see the lead cars go through the hairpin, with Fapster defending off of MBG there. Alex Plunkett locking up and going very deep into the corners. We see Ibi run wide on the exit as well. This would be on board with Joseph McKenna, I believe, in his Any Carina. He would be following Riosuk in the Renault 19, which I believe is the lead Renault dealer car at the moment. They're both chasing down MBG and Fapster. This is the battle for P5, well that's where Fapster is at the moment, but all three of them run wide, and Joseph McKenna says thank you very much for the position there, and this will now be on board with MBG chasing down Fapster just slightly up the road from Joseph. He'll be all over Fapster's rear end, but just unable to find a place to get past at the time being. Fapster putting his car in all the right places to defend well at the early stages of this race. MPG though, he would try and challenge back into the chicane, unable to get the manoeuvre done, and that would allow Joseph McKenna to get right up to the back of him. A little bit of contact coming out of the final hairpin would see them try and go 3 wide down into the first corner. Now we all know how this is gonna go, or do we? Because everyone actually seems to get through clean. MBG holding his car nicely around the outside, Fapster not giving him as much room as I think he would have hoped for, and that allowed Joseph McKenna to squeeze up the inside. They do make a little bit of contact, and both of them are very brave to go too wide through here. A lot of trust in each other, or just thinking, well, I hope the other one's going to crash. There's still 2x2 coming down through the old hairpin, but manage to keep the positions with MBG staying ahead for the latter part of the lap. This would be on board with Joseph McKenna coming into the final corner the hairpin, as we would see Fapster lose his rear end. Same with MBG, maybe having to go onto the brakes to not run into the back of Fapster, and this would allow Joseph McKenna to close up just enough down the straight. He runs it out just a little bit wider than he does before, chucks the car into the corner to slingshot it to be on the inside. MBG once again running wide out of turn 1, which allowed Joseph to squeeze down the inside. This time a successful manoeuvre before they get into the old hairpin. MBG still on the inside trying to keep his options open, but with Joseph running that little bit wide on corner exit, it allowed MBG to close right up, and they're now once again going to go side by side, this time into the right hander, but a massive clip of the curb would see Joseph McKenna fling his car sideways. A great bit of evasive driving from MBG to keep his car on the road and still in control to avoid that, but they all still make it through. Joseph McKenna only losing one place to Rio Suck. This would be Kitty trying to go down the inside of Joseph McKenna. They would touch, Joseph would go on into the gravel, and I believe receive a time penalty. Looking at the leaders now then, Jaden is your lead car. I would be very close behind, just a couple tenths. Blank would be in third, and Assetto drifter Joseph McKenna's teammate would be in fourth. Fapster would have pulled a little bit of a gap over MBG to hold on to that fifth position, vital for him in the championship. Kitu and Joseph McKenna would still be battling coming out of the last corner, and we would see Kitu gain the position there. One of the Renault cars running a little bit deep, and CRS going very sideways mid-corner, keeping control of his car. This would be back on board with me. I seem to be a lot quicker than Jaden through the mid part of the track in the high-speed corners. I try to go around the outside, but Jaden shuts the door. I do run into the back of him, but luckily out of the throttle. Unfortunately, I would just get on the power a little bit too early. The back end of the car would swing round, and now I've got dirt on my tyres, which I know from extensive practicing does not work particularly well. So going down the back straight, I was eager to get that dirt off my tyres, weaving all over the track, not infecting anyone at all, so I believe that's all okay there. However, MBG had now slipped down into the hands of Kitty, who was quite eager to get past. Kitty having a look down the inside into the right-hander, still got his nose on his rear Corsa, but going to pull out coming into the back straight now. So power round the corner coming onto the straight. Kitty's going to stay in MBG's slipstream. Going to close up on him a little bit, but close up maybe a little bit too much under braking, as Kitty would get sent into the back of MBG. Then Joseph McKenna would running into the side of Kitty, which would allow Rio Suck to gain another place there. Method would then outbrake himself coming into the hairpin, class her into the wall, and that would be the end of his round 9, unfortunately, to see therefore Method. Now, I would have caught right up to the back of Jaden, who gets a rather poor exit, sliding his car. He's now going to cover up the outside, which is where I really wanted to be if I was going to make a manoeuvre, but I was happy to sit behind him at this point in the race. We would still be nose to tail, and with Blank and the Assetto drifter slowly catching up to us, I was getting to the point where I was a little bit eager to get past. So coming down into the hairpin, I'm going to run it slightly wider than Jaden, try and get the undercut mid-corner. Not going to be able to do so, but I'm going to be just that little bit closer. So coming into the last hairpin, I have a look around the outside, just can't get the manoeuvre done though. With that rear-wheel drive car that Jaden's got there, able to get a much better drive out the hairpins than I was able to. So coming once again through the high-speed section, I got a much better run. A slight slide on exit from Jaden would see him lose that just enough bit of momentum that I would need to get alongside him. So I have a look around the outside, clip that curb, but unlike Joseph, don't go very sideways at all. Jaden just forced me off a little bit wide. No real problems there though. The real problem would be the lag, and then as I see Jaden come back on my inside, I do get quite scared and have a bit of a wobble on the car. Jaden though would make a mistake on the following lap, which would see me be able to get the undercut coming down into the hairpin to gain the lead of the race, which is really what I wanted at this point, as you can see how close Blank and Assetto drifter were getting, and I didn't particularly feel like being swallowed up in them. As if Jaden won the race, and if I came fourth, I think that would have completely changed the results of the championship. So Jaden though would still try and challenge for my outside, and he plays it very well, flicking his car a little bit wider under braking, forcing me to go out wide on the exit. He's then able to slingshot the car and get the undercut out of the corner, which is now putting me into the reaches of Blank, who's now right with us, who I'm not particularly too keen on. So I follow Jaden, get a massive slide coming down the hill, and then into the old hairpin. I'm just able to get a good enough drive to stick right on the rear bumper of Jaden, and I'm now looking all over the place, looking for a place to overtake. Now, just like round 1, this was one of my favourite overtaking spots, though I'm unable to get the manoeuvre done this time round. Jaden just getting enough of an undercut, a little bit of contact as well, and now Blank's looking all over the back of us, trying to find a gap to get through, and all this time Assetto drifters caught right up to us too. So I go down the inside at the chicane, try to anyway. Jaden, I think he just cuts a little bit too much curb, which gives him a time penalty, as then I think, right, I'm going down the inside. No, a Assetto drifter comes out of nowhere from 4th position to take the lead of the race. A little bit of contact was made. Jaden now serves his time penalty. Blank flashes his headlights, probably in excitement, as then we all come down into the final corner. Blank's going to have a look down the inside of me. I say no, shut the door on him. Contact is made, and I immediately go to cover the position. I am a little bit all over the place, I will admit, at this point. That's just out of pure desperation though. Blank runs extremely wide, going all the way to the pit exit to try and utilise that corner exit, but I'm just able to hold enough momentum using the Astro on the outside to use all of the track I can. However, just pushing a little bit too hard would see me gain a massive slide at the old hairpin, which would now see Blank close right up to me. I'm going to hold the inside though, defend well. I know my car's good through this corner, hug the curb and able to hold onto the position. Back on board with Blank now coming into the final hairpin. Assetto drifter will brake a little bit earlier than usual and stay wide, so I'd have a look down the inside. A little bit of contact made, however with that wider line he's able to get a slightly better exit than me. We make contact down the straight. Blank gets out the throttle, and rightfully so, as I chuck my car for the inside, slightly outbrake myself, keep it on the track though, and then Blank and Assetto drifter both go through at turn 1. This doesn't particularly bother me though, as all I have to do at this point is beat Jaden to win the championship. But me being me, I think why not, let's make things interesting. So coming into the left-hander, we briefly attempt to go 3 wide, which isn't going to work particularly well. Blank now on the outside of Assetto drifter, nowhere to go there, and Assetto drifter turns into him. I see him come back onto the track, so slam on the brakes, hoping that he doesn't hit into me, which was the case. Blank runs extremely wide, coming round the right-hander onto the back straight, keeps it on the track though, which is what he needs at this point, as then we all power down into the hairpin. This would be the final lap now. Assetto drifter's got a little bit of a gap over us. Me and Blank, I should say, as I'm really defending hard to fend Blank off, as at this point tyres are not my strong points. You can see I run wide once again coming out of the old hairpin, and Blank's going to be all over my rear now. I have to go defensive again, going to not give him as much space as I did the previous time. Hold the inside, hug that curb as much as I can, run it onto the Astro, and all this time Jaden is catching up to us. Blank then flashes his lights to maybe say you're being a bit of a twat, but coming around the last corner then, your race leader and winner would be Assetto drifter. I would let Blank through just because I felt I was being a little bit over the top, and same with Jaden. He deserves to get onto the podium for the final round. Fifth would be Fapster in his Mondeo, which would secure him 3rd place in the championship. 6th would be Joseph McKenna, very happy with that result. 7th, I believe, would be Rio Suck in the next of the Renault dealer racing cars. Then it would be a very sideways Scalaris in his BMW 318 to secure the final, no, not the final points position, what am I saying? I believe it would be Bowtie who would actually get P9. So yeah, Scalaris was P8. Bowtie with his highest finishing position of the league would get P9, which he was very, very happy with. And I can see why, as that helps him beat Rostislav in the amazing battle that they were having throughout the championship. Alex Plunkett then would bring out the top 10. So, as we have a look at the final results, I would win the championship by 6 points over Jaden. Very, very close. It was very, very close at the front. Brilliant, brilliant performance from Jaden all season. Keeping it true, it was looking very close up to even this round. Jaden still could have won. Third place was Fapster, joint fourth was Joseph McKenna and MBG, Kitu in sixth, Assetto Drifter 7th, and so on. Vinnie Roberts would be P11, Toru missing out on the last couple rounds due to equipment issues would get 12th, Rio Suck, some solid performances would get him 13th, Bread once again technical issues would see him miss out on a few rounds, get 14th. As we would see, Bosai actually managed to get joint 16th with 6 points. Clementine would get 21st. Saladin and Eric Geraci we haven't really seen since the early rounds. Once again, I believe just due to technical issues. Constructors Championships, multiple car teams. The Team Dynamics guys would get first with 120.5 points. The Park Lane Toyota Junior guys, Joseph and Assetto Drifter, will put in some very, very good performances. A win each in the league would see them get second. Fapster's team would get third, and so on. A little bit further down, we would see the Curator Costs of Gerard Clementine get 10th, and Ibby's Toyota Team Securical car get 11th. The independent teams, I would end up winning that with 104 points. Bowtie in second in his Harlow Motorsport Renault 19. Toru's Sierra would be third, and then Bowtie's and I believe Dominon Cosses would be a little bit further down as well. Same with the Pinckney Motorsports Beamer of Alex Plunkett and the Thames Ford dealer car of Saladin, rounding out the end of the constructors. So thank you all very much for watching these highlight video, guys. It really means a lot to me that you do, as these are not easy projects at all to work on. So thank you all very much for your attendance, and cheers for watching. Goodbye.